So my name is Lijesh Shetty, and I am from SRS Distribution. I lead the e-commerce group for landscape and pool division at SRS. So what I'm going to do today is briefly talk about SRS Distribution, share with you guys a little story about who we are, how did we grow to where we are today, and also kind of share how we are planning to advance technology to fuel our future growth. I'm hoping what I share here today, for some of you, you can take a page or two of my journey and probably use it at your place. Okay, it does work. So SRS Distribution, we were formed in 2008. We operate in 3 verticals: roofing, pool, and landscape. And today we are an $8 billion company. So the way we have grown so far is by acquisition. What we do is we go out and acquire small independent operators and make them part of our family. Right? We allow them to continue as a brand as they were before, but everything on the back end side, we kind of fuel them, right? We kind of support them, which is warehousing, logistics, technology, everything on the back end, we support them. Interesting fact, anytime we acquire a company, the EBITDA of that company goes up 2 times, if not 3 times, immediately after our acquisition. So it's beneficial for both the company which gets acquired as well as for us. That's how we have been traditionally growing. Few more interesting numbers. We are in 44 states. We have 50 plus brands. We have done 130 plus acquisitions so far since our inception. 130. I'll let that number sink in. I haven't seen any company acquiring so many other companies. 130 companies. And the last 2 numbers are also very interesting, right? If you look at the last 2 numbers, we have been growing year on year on an average of 30% as far as our top line numbers are concerned. And our bottom line, we have been growing at a rate of 40%. That's the kind of growth path we are on at SRS. Now, since I am on interesting facts, few more interesting facts. I joined SRS a year back. When I joined, I think in 2 weeks' time, we celebrated us reaching a milestone of $5 billion. And just 3 weeks back, we celebrated reaching a milestone of $8 billion. So within a period of 1 year, we grew from $5 to $8 billion. That's a $3 billion growth within a year. Unheard of, at least, as far as my experience is concerned, it's unheard of. We have done 30 plus acquisitions this year. This will be interesting for you guys, right? Since our inception, we have been growing faster than the FANG companies. I think now they are called the MANG companies, with Facebook becoming Meta. But we have been growing faster than the FANG companies. Now imagine if you were to invest in Amazon in 2008, how would it look like today? And now you imagine, had you invested in SRS, how would it look like today? Right? We have been growing faster than them. So we are also one of the broadest equity, we offer one of the broadest equity for our employees. Right? This may be interesting, especially if you're looking for a job change. SRS Distribution, do consider So with the kind of growth path we have been on, we have been able to create a wealth of $3 billion for our employees. Again, a number with B, right? 3 billion. We allow our employees to buy stocks in the company. We obviously give them when they join us. We also reward them when they perform well. So that's the kind of, give back is what we have done so far. Now, what's our operational motto? Our operational motto is from foundation to fence line. So we want to get into business, anything which is outside the house, from the foundation to the fence line. Our CEO says this, our CEO Dan Tinker, he says this, that anything which Amazon cannot ship in a box, we want to get into that business, which I think is quite ambitious. In any case, today we are in roofing, landscape, and pool. I'll quickly share some numbers. Looks like the screen is on that side. I'll quickly share the numbers. The roofing is a $26 billion industry, right? Between the three largest players, we share 60% of the market share. 40% of the market share is still run by small independent operators. What does that mean for us? Exactly, it means we can acquire and grow further, right? And now if you switch over to landscape, it's a $20 billion industry. And bulk of it, if not most of it, is run by small independent operators. Again, potential for huge growth. Lastly, pool. We entered pool late last year, and I think DCKAP guys know it very well. We entered pool late last year. We are the second largest pool provider today in the country. But look at the market share there. 40% of the market share is taken by the largest manufacturer there. Remaining 60% is run by us and small independent operators. Again, plenty of room for us to grow. So what I'm calling out is the way we have been growing so far, which is by acquisition, will continue to grow. There's a lot of room for us to do so. This is how we are thinking about growth, right? We obviously will continue growth through acquisition, just like we have continued to do so far. We're also planning to advance our technology, right? And many of you may know this already. We are in the housing industry, and the housing industry has one of the lowest tech penetration amongst all the sectors. So what our CEO wants to do, he wants to be the pioneer in technology penetration in the housing industry. So we want to advance technology in the industry. And we are in the path of doing so. Our goal when we look at advancing technology, we want to target 3 specific areas. We want to make sure that we eliminate customer friction. We want to increase efficiencies across the board. And lastly, we want to delight our customers. Now, if you're from a retail industry, which I was from before, you know that if your customer is happy when they transact with you online, if they feel good about the interaction, the stickiness increases by 80%. So obviously what we want to do is by delighting our customers, we want to have that stickiness with us. So when we look at the technology, we are looking at this stack, right? Obviously we will bring in more tech stack to fuel our advanced industry. Now, one of the advantage which we have compared to many other companies or sectors is, like I said, we are, tech penetration is very low. So what does that allow us to do? We don't have to linearly follow the growth of technology. We can basically leapfrog by adopting to latest, newest, bleeding edge technologies, which is what exactly we are doing, right? So we want to become an intelligent digital enterprise. Intelligent digital enterprise. Now, so quickly on the API, so when we thought about using technology to fuel our growth, what we realized pretty soon is, many of our contractors in the roofing industry were going to their customers and were using, tools on the iPad, right? And they would talk to the customers. They would kind of take their requirements, put down the measurements, show them the products and so on. So we soon realized that they are using a tool, and there are a variety of tools in the marketplace. So one of the first things we did was to expose all of our capabilities as an API, right? And integrated with those tools. So when our contractor or our customers go to the marketplace today, we have a seamless integration, right? They don't have to come out of the tool which they are using. So we are targeting areas specifically where we think is the maximum reward which we'll get, right? That's the approach which we have taken. So in continuation of our digital journey, we today have e-commerce on the web for both roofing, landscape, and pool. We have a mobile app. And as part of our intelligent journey, we have bots. We have RPA process implemented. We use UiPath for that. We are using models which are built on AWS SageMaker, which are allowing us to make certain intelligent decisions in the process. And lastly, we are using BPM processes, which are built on a low-code provider called OutSystem. Now again, why are we using this tech stack? We want to advance tech in the industry. We want to eliminate customer friction. We want to increase efficiency. Lastly, improve, delight our customers. So I'll briefly talk about few examples, just so where we used our tech stack and which helped us in this journey so far. So this is a classic example. So this was a process few years back, right? Our customers would walk to a branch and place an order. But obviously, our customers are contractors. They were more comfortable placing orders in a branch than online, right? But in cases where the customer's order breached the credit limit, because it's a B2B business, so we have credit limit for our customers. If they breach the credit limit, those orders would go on hold. Now, what would that mean? When an order goes on hold, someone from the credit team now has to review that risk, right? He or she has to pull up different reports about the customer, assess it, and ultimately either approve or deny it. Now, what we found, that 90% of our orders, the ones which go above credit limit, didn't have an issue. It was only the 10% which was risky. So it was 10% which was holding the other 90%. So obviously we wanted to change that. We wanted to improve this process. So the way we did that is we rolled out tech stack across different areas. So today we have e-commerce on Epi for roofing and on Magento for pool and landscape. So the customer, if he chooses not to walk to a store or chooses to order online, there are options for him to do so. If the order goes over the credit limit, we have a RPA process built again on UiPath, which would kind of assess that risk, call an API, and the API would kind of do customer risk assessment. And how it does it? On the back end of it, there is a model which we have built on SageMaker, which is now calculating for every customer credit risk and storing it in a database. So 90% of our orders are now getting approved almost instantaneously. It's only the 10% which goes to the manual flow, but in the manual flow as well, we have a BPM process now, which basically notifies our credit team. So now credit team, that entire credit team is just looking at the 10% of order, meaning they can review those sooner and either approve or deny them sooner. So, now you imagine that the person who has walked in a branch, his experience. Obviously, wait time is not there. His order is processed immediately. So that's the kind of change we are bringing in by advancing technology in the industry. I think while I'm advancing technology in the industry, it's difficult to click and move here. So continuing on the efficiency, there's a few examples I just wanted to showcase, how RPA process is helping us to achieve efficiency and cut down on cost across the board. I think it was one of the good decisions which we took to bring in RPA processes, right? And today we have efficiency and savings across the board, across many of our processes. These are just few, right? So if you look here, close to 3,000 orders were inputted manually. We don't do it anymore. Close to 40,000 orders which we were receiving monthly for our credit risk. It's automated. We are saving around 175,000 on branch cycle counts. I'm assuming you guys know what branch cycle count is, which is basically counting the inventory. The daily deposit, we are saving about 0.75 FTE. And lastly, the fleet bot violations. So these are operational violations of our drivers. So once we put in bot, now this bot can, before it actually happens, it's able to detect that, and it notifies the driver that you are about to violate. 9, the operations, hours of operation of a driver. Violate. Yeah, violate, sorry. The, yeah, the violate the government, regulations. Yeah. So 91.5% of time, we are able to avoid that now. Anyways, so continuing on increasing efficiency, I thought this picture really speaks to that, right? So if you look at the left-hand side, this is how our branch were tracking deliveries of a customer for a week. Yeah, stack of paper, right? Which worked for them, but obviously it has its own challenges, right? You can't share with anyone, you can't take notes when you're away or whatever, right? So what we did, we digitized it, right? Now it's like a calendar style, right? Our branch operators can share it easily with other people. Obviously, all the efficiencies you get from the digitization. But on top of that, what we have also done is now our branch, anyone literally, any backend operator can go into the website and see real-time tracking of the deliveries, just like you can see Uber deliveries, right? So that's the kind of efficiency gain we are bringing in with rolling out technology. You have to press hard, okay? The delighting customers, right? Like I was saying earlier, the housing industry, right, is not so tech heavy, right? The penetration of tech is really low. But when pandemic hit us, right, it changed that. Our customers started calling us and asking, hey, can we place online order? So what did we do? We launched online ordering immediately. And we have today an e-commerce system called RoofUp for roofing. And those are the numbers which we are doing right now. We launched this in 2020. And we are targeting to make somewhere around $800 to $900 million next year on the platform, right? So once obviously our customers got taste of technology and the ease and the convenience with that, they reached out to us and asked for a mobile app. So we turned around and launched a mobile app. It's one of the highest rating app in the housing industry today. There are more than 500 users with 5 stars. So we rolled out obviously a lot of features on the platform, which are useful for our customers. But there are certain features which we rolled out just to delight our customers. One of which is the hail tracking, right? If there is an incoming hail, you can see the path of the hail, and you can also see all your previous customers who are going to be hit by that hail. So think about it for the roofer now, right? Before the hail hits, he's able to now find out which previous customers, and he can reach out to them. We also launched something called smart templates, and I'll talk about it it's a few slides further. I'll talk about it. So once we rolled our mobile app, what we found out is the kind of adoption which we thought we would be getting, we didn't get initially. So we kind of started talking to our TM, our sales associate, and we found out that they were not excited about the platform. Right? There was no features, there was no login for them to use. So we changed that. We implemented an internal view of the app, where now TM can log in, he can track customer deliveries, he can see how much his sales associates are doing, he can track individual deliveries just like the Uber tracking. So pretty soon, our TM and our sales associate got excited about the platform, and we found that customer adoption really skyrocketed. So that was an aha moment for us, right? It was an aha moment that if you want to really make your product, feature, function successful, make sure your internal team members who have a touch point with your customers are excited about that product or feature. RoofUp Smart Templates. this is the feature which we launched on our mobile app as well as on the web. Again, goes towards delighting our customers, right? So roofing as an industry, if you know, as far as the materials are concerned, it's not so exhaustive like a typical retail, right? There are limited set of materials, but then the people who can order need a good level of skill. They need to know what they're ordering, right? So what did we do? We, in our online ordering, we made templates available, pre-built templates, right? Because many a time, this roofing contractors, even though they are skilled, bulk of their orders were entered by some administrator, and they would often mess it up. So we put a smart template out there, which basically now they can select a template and it would kind of, for them select all the materials needed for the job. But we didn't stop there. We went ahead and put forward a model. So today we have a model which recommends the user based on the information they have entered what template they should be using and what should be the color of the template. Our customer base was really excited about the feature. They came back and told us, this is a feature which has now avoided, on missing on parts or items to order and thereby delaying our job. So this is the kind of customer delight I'm talking about as you think about rolling out features in your marketplace. It's important to have your customers excited. So on the same token, we had entered landscape in 2019 and pool late last year, like I said earlier. So landscape is not, tech heavy industry. But when we entered in pool late last year, we realized that was not the case for pool. Some of the brands which we acquired had up to 60% of their business online, which meant that we have to now stand up a platform immediately and be able to support all of the features which our brands were supporting before. So within a period of 8 to 9 months, we were able to stand up this platform. And this platform today has 13 pool brands and 6 landscape brands. When you think about these numbers, you should think about 13 websites, 13 plus 6, 19 websites on the site, 19 e-commerce sites, right? Fully functional, obviously with a lot of cool features in it. We have done 50 million, I think it says 35, it's a bit old. We have done 50 million on the platform and we are targeting to do 150 million next year on the platform. Now, I want to kind of call out our partners here, right? DCKAP. So this is where I engaged with DCKAP. And it was, DCKAP's team which kind of helped us build this platform in such a short time. And honestly, that's the reason I'm standing here and, talking here today, right? Vouching for them. They are an excellent partner. They have turned around within such a short time. And not only the tech team, but even our business team is really happy with them. So they are an excellent partner. So if you are looking for partner, I would recommend them as one for sure. Thank you, Karthik. Now, obviously, in the tech industry, there is always something more which you have to keep on doing. And it's not a destination, more of a journey. And we have a journey lined up in front of us. Right? And some of the things which are listed here are, leaves out of a typical retail industry, right? It's important that you personalize to your customers, to your customer. It's important that you recommend which is contextual and relevant to customer. Convenient, smart features obviously is needed. Lastly, educate and guide customers. So case in point is in the pool industry, we have a lot of assembly products. So for our customers, going to assembly, finding the parts and being able to be up to date on the latest spec is difficult. So we are planning to roll a parts and specification function on the side, which would make it much more convenient and easy for our customers. So when we are thinking about delighting our customers, we are not just thinking about how do we increase our business, but we are also thinking about how do I enable my customer? How do I make him do his job better? How do I make him successful in his job? So that's how we are approaching, because that's, we think, as a key to delighting our customers. Few key takeaways, and some of this may sound cliche, but I still wanted to go ahead and share it with with the group here. Listen to your customers. I think SRS does it really well. So what we do at SRS is we have forums with our customers. We bring them to our corporate office. We have a day, 2-day session with our customers. We talk to them. We try to understand what are they using in our product, right? What are they using in our competitors' product? What are their pain points? What would they like to get rid of? And we also kind of share with them what we are planning to do, what we are about to launch. In many cases, what we try to do is make them our beta customers, and they become our influencer in the marketplace. And I'm really impressed with the way SRS does this. And that goes a long way in building the right feature function which is actually needed in the marketplace. Win over your internal teams. I already shared that was an aha moment for us, that your internal team has to be excited for your adoption. Lastly, experiment and discard ideas. I think this is important, especially if you're thinking technology to innovate and be a differentiator in the marketplace, right? You can't be just a me too in the marketplace. It becomes really difficult to differentiate and gain business. So, then that becomes important that you experiment and you try ideas and you be ready to discard ideas. So in SRS, we have an innovation lab where we kind of try new ideas. We roll it out in few branches. We actually see whether it works or not. And then we kind of expand them if they work well. But we have discarded a lot of ideas as well. I think there has to be an appetite of your senior leadership to be willing to experiment and at times discard ideas. So these are a few recent examples. So locker box, for example, Amazon has it. Obviously ours is much larger. It's for roofing. The aerial roof measurement. This is using a partner technology where we can aerially measure the roof measurement, important for our roofers. I think I'll leave this group here with this few lessons. Again, when you're thinking about advancing technology, especially by innovation, you need commitment from your senior leadership. Now, what we have done over, I think, last 8 months now, we organized ourselves as a product group, right? And if you're from retail or from other vertical, you probably know what it means. But in housing, obviously, it's new. We organized ourselves as a product group. So we have business team, we have technology team, we have everyone who is required to basically build, develop, support, maintain that product as part of that product group, right? So we are nimble and we can turn around and deliver quickly, right? So for that to happen, you obviously need a commitment from top leadership, which is very critical. So so obviously you need a consistent and clear strategic technology vision for you to kind of plan your roadmap and drive towards that. Lastly, I think the most important thing, which I believe I take for me personally, is you need to have a relentless pursuit for differentiating in the marketplace. That is all I had, and I'm again hoping this was useful, informative for some of you guys here, and hopefully you can take some part of it for your journey. Thank you.